everybody, I am here tonight showing you how to make this easy, delicious, flavorful flank steak. I'm going to show you how I marinate it, cook it in the oven, and I'm actually doing 2 meals out of one big piece of meat. So if you want to see how to make everything on the plate, just keep watching. I'll show you it all. Plus, keep watching for the second meal too, because that will be added in. Okay, so I really love a flank steak. You can season these up and marinate these in so many different ways, and they hold the flavor really, really good. But what I really like to use is just plain old A1 sauce. This makes this steak so tangy, rich, and delicious. So I got to, and let me show you how I prepare this. So you can kind of get an idea. There we go. I bought a really big one because I plan on doing like a double duty meal. Now I've cleaned my counter real well, but I am just going to put it right out on the counter because I can clean it even better once I'm done. Now these roll up, so roll it out, stretch it out. This one looks pretty good. It's a big piece of meat. And usually if it has a lot of fat in a certain area, I will just very easily take my knife across those big areas and get off some of that fat. But this one isn't bad at all. It's all trimmed up really nicely. So you can see the grain of the meat is long ways. And you're going to cut it against the grain. So you're going to cut it against it whenever you are cooking. But I like to still take my knife and just score it just a little bit on the top side, just so that marinade gets in even better. These are wonderful on the grill. I'm going to be cooking it indoors. It's winter, but this is such a lovely dinner. And I'm going to have 2 dinners out of this. So there it is. All I'm doing is taking my Ziploc bag, getting that entire piece of meat down in there. And this is really affordable, you know, to serve to a big gathering. Instead of buying really pricey, maybe ribeyes or whatever. This is really affordable. So I'm going to take some of that A1. I usually use 2 bottles, especially with a piece of meat this big. The longer you let it marinate, the better it's going to be. So you can marinate this up to 48 hours ahead of time before you cook it. Alright, there's one side, and I just kind of work it in. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to add my other bottle. I'm probably going to save just a little bit of it. I'm going to put this piece in too. And then add the A1. Do I have left? Alright. And all you have to do is just move it around and marinate it for as long as you can. And every night I usually just give it a good jiggle. I'm probably going to marinate this for about 24, maybe a little bit longer, maybe 30 hours. It's going to go right in the refrigerator. So my flank steak has been marinating for about 35 hours in the A1 sauce. And I'm going to be cooking this in the oven under the broiler setting. So people who don't necessarily have like a grill pan, they can make it, you know, right in their oven. So that's why I'm showing this. This is going to be a double duty meal. I'm going to be using it for tonight's meal, and then I'm going to use it again in a couple days for a different meal. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my grill pan and putting it on top of an old cookie sheet. Now if you don't have a grill pan, just put it on a cookie sheet. If you prefer to line yours with aluminum foil, that's fine. I really don't prefer that. So I'm just letting my meat sit out for a little bit. I'm actually going to get it out of the package, go on and put it on the grill plate, but again, you can use your cookie sheet and just let it come to room temperature before I put it in the oven so it doesn't seize up. So there it is. It's on the grill plate. I just like the marks it leaves on it, but again, you can just use your cookie sheet, and I'm going to let it sit out for probably about 30 minutes before I put it into the oven. I have the potatoes in the oven right now. That's going to go with this, and they're going to take a little while. So I have the oven on, and it's kind of warm over here, and I thought it would be a better place to let this steak kind of warm up a little bit. It's big. I can probably actually get 3 meals out of this piece of meat, or 2 meals and some lunches. So really good buy. It's such an economical steak that you can use this at any dinner party because it flavors up so well. That A1 sauce is going to make it taste amazing. Okay, so get your broiler on high. Make sure your cookie sheet or whatever you're cooking, you can use a broiler pan too. Whatever you're cooking your steak on, and this works for any steak, and get it on high. Make sure your rack is up as high as it will go for it to be as close as it can be to that broiler element without your meat touching. So this is going to be in here for probably 35 minutes at least. And I'm going to flip it over a couple times in the process. Now, we like ours medium rare. It might be a little less. It might be a little longer for you. It just depends on what size piece of meat you're cooking and how you like it cooked. So just cook it accordingly. I'm watching Bride Wars. And I'm watching the end of it, which is about to happen here. Okay, so it's out of the oven, and I'm just going to tint it with aluminum foil until I get everything else ready, and that way when I slice it, the juices will stay within. So I cut it on the bias, and it's the same way. I cut it on the same way the grain is going, and I'm going to get this plated up. Okay, so I'm serving this up with some A1 sauce tonight, and some corn, and some oven roasted potatoes. Now, if you want to see how to make the oven roasted potatoes, just keep watching. I'll show you how to make that right. Super delicious dinner, easy to make, everything in your oven. I actually cooked the corn in the microwave oven, so that was in an oven too. And if you want to see the recipe and everything else, check out my blog at kjaggers.com. That link is below. Let me know if you guys try this, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Oh, and I'm going to be doing double duty with this steak. So if you want to see the second dinner we make with it, just keep watching. It'll be added on right here. Okay, so part 2 of the flank steak dinner is a, simple steak salad. So I'm just using this Fresh Express mix and just some regular salad stuff, some carrots, some broccoli, a little bit of red onion, the flank steak that is cold and just kind of sitting out, a cucumber, some organic cherry tomatoes, and to go with that, I'm just making my own salad dressing. So it's super simple. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it step. Also, for our salad, I have some eggs boiling for my salad and Jackson's because Scott doesn't like it, and we do. So that's also being included in our salad tonight. The ingredients are really simple. So salt and pepper, of course. I'm going to use basically all of this olive oil, about a cup, a couple tablespoons of white wine vinegar, small teaspoon of Dijon mustard, some anchovies, some fresh lemon juice, and some garlic. So all of that goes in, oh, and a teaspoon of light brown sugar. All that goes into a jar. We're going to shake it up, and that will be our salad dressing for tonight. So the first thing I like to do is take a couple of the anchovies. Now, I know people are scared of anchovies. Please don't be. They're not. I'm not a huge fan of just like eating an anchovy, but I'm gonna pull one out with my finger. If you can get like a jar like this, just take like 3 or 4. Actually, I'll take 3. And what I like to do is just put them on a little plate. and just give them a mash. Mash them up. Because they're going to like break apart in the salad dressing. You're never really going to know they're in there. Just gives it like a very unique salty taste, and it's really good. I would have never believed it unless, you know, I wouldn't have tried it in culinary school. And when I tried it there, I fell in love with anchovies, anchovy paste. And when you're making any kind of hot dish, these just melt into it. They just melt away. And so all I like to do is just kind of mash them up and get them in the jar. Right in, just like that. Okay? And then I'm going to add my oil. And I'm not measuring. I'm just going to add this whole thing. Let me take that lid off. See if I can get it off. Yep, popped right off. Add in the olive oil. I'm also going to add a couple tablespoons of white wine vinegar. This is a new one. So I got to get the lid pulled off. There we go. Just a couple. Well, that's slow. There we go. Okay. Comes out slow, so it might look like I'm adding a lot. I'm adding a couple tablespoons. Alright, and then I'm going to add the juice of 1 lemon. Let me get a knife. And I'm using my juicer. This is amazing. And I'm just going to cut it. Put it right in. Put it over my dish or my jar and squeeze. Alright, next side. I'm just using 1 lemon. In you go. Okay. And then we're going to add, and it's going to look like a lot, but it's not, just about 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. A little more than that. There we go. And some Dijon mustard. Running low, better get more. I also like the stone ground. It's good. Then I'm going to take a garlic clove. Now you could use a shallot too, which I have many times. And I'm going to peel it. I love buying peeled garlic. It's so much easier, but I didn't see a big tub. I'm going to use my garlic press just because it's super easy to use. And gets me some yummy garlic. See how it comes out? I'm going to do 2 of those. Okay, let's get number 2 in there. And now salt and pepper. This is so easy and delicious on any salad. About 1/4 of a teaspoon. I have some people wanting me to do like a whole series on mason jar cooking. And I can. I've already done the breakfast in a jar. Shake it up. Sometimes I add Parmesan cheese to it. And then, that's really good. I do think it needs a little more brown sugar though. You just have to taste it. And for me, I prefer a sweeter salad dressing. Some people might not. They might like a little more of a sharp salad dressing where you would add a little more of the white wine vinegar. Or red wine. You can use red wine. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you like. So I'm going to shake up the rest of that brown sugar. Get it all in there. And there you go. Let's try it again. Oh my God. That's perfect. Yum, yum, yum. Okay. So the longer you let this marinate, the richer and stronger the flavors will become. But you can use it right away, or you can put it in your refrigerator. It'll last probably up to 2 weeks in your fridge. So there is dinner. So this is just a big plate. This will be plenty for Scott, Jackson, and myself. And it has 2 kinds of lettuces, spinach, broccoli, tomatoes, diced red onions, cucumbers, cheese, carrots, tomatoes, eggs, and the flank steak from the first night. After, we ate, we saved the rest of it. So that is our second meal. I'm serving it up with the homemade salad dressing. Remember to shake it just to make sure all that brown sugar and everything is dissolved. And Jackson does eat ranch on his, but he's a picky eater and I don't bite it. So I'm going to get this plated up and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. So I'm just serving it up on a pretty white plate. And this is more than enough dinner for me tonight. And I'm just going to drizzle some of that salad dressing right over the top and enjoy this delicious dinner. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video showing double duty on a flank steak. And it's super delicious and easy to make. Flavors up wonderfully. And I am going to go eat this. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss any cooking videos. And check out my blog at kjaggers.com for more pictures and info. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.